Praise the Lord. Respected pastors and my dear believers, today I'm going to talk to you about prayer. Prayer is a wonderful privilege, and God has given us the right to pray. And as we all know, that prayer is direct communication with God. Jeremiah 33 verses 3 says, He has promised to hear us when we call. God promises us that He shall always hear our prayers whenever we call upon His name. He shall never leave our prayers unattended whenever we call upon Him. Jesus said, Whoever believes in me shall not hunger. So when you believe and pray, God will fulfill your hunger. Matthew 5 verses 44 says that, Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. We are all children of God, and we are not here to hate or curse. Instead, we have to love and pray for those who persecute us. And if we do that, blessings will be on our way. A prayer can change the life of a person wholly. Even what we felt impossible to happen or be recovered shall be made possible through faithful prayer. Personally, I believe that prayer is a sending out of vibrations from one person to another and to God. When you pray for your children, your parents, your family, do you know what would happen? Do you know what are you doing? The thing is that you employ the force inherent in the spiritual universe. Then you transport from yourself to the other person a sense of love, helpfulness, support. And in this manner, though you awaken the vibrations in the universe. And in this process, God brings to actualize the objectives you prayed for. Experiment with this principle and you will see amazing results. I remember about a story of a man who opened a small business few years ago. It was his first establishment. He characterized his business as a little hole in the wall, and he had only one employee. In a few years later, they moved into a larger room and then into extensive quarters. This man's method of business, as he described, was to fill the little hole in the wall with optimistic prayers and thoughts. He declared that proper kind of prayer, right treatment of people, and hard work will always get results. This man has a unique and a creative mind that he used a formula to solve his problems and overcome his difficulties. It is a curious formula, but it is recommended for you. The formula is prayerize, picturize, and actualize. By prayerize, it means to have a daily system of creative prayer. Whenever a problem arose, this man talked it over to God very simply and directly in prayer. He did not talk to God as a far-off shadowy being, but he talked to God as he conceived God as being with him in his office, in his house, on the street, while driving his car, always nearby as a partner. He took seriously the biblical injunction to pray without ceasing. The second point in his formula is to picturize. Whenever you pray, you must picturize what you're praying for. When one assumes to have success, he tends to have success. But when one assumes to have failure, he tends to have failure. Whenever success or failure is assumed, it tends to actualize equivalent to the mental image picturized. And whatever you pray, you must test it according to God's will. The will of God is always true. And whatever you picturize must be surrendered to God's will. By prayerizing and picturizing, you actualize your realizable wish by invoking God's power upon it. Have you heard the story of Abraham when God was about to destroy the city of Sodom where Lot lived? Abraham asked God, if there are 50 righteous people in the city, will God spare the city from destruction? God agreed to what Abraham said. Then Abraham asked God, if there are 45 righteous people in the city, will God spare the city from destruction? Yes, God agreed to that too. Then Abraham further negotiated down with God, and finally God agreed, if there is one righteous person in the city, God shall spare the city from destruction. This is the power of prayer. Whenever you pray, you must believe and have faith in what you pray, so that God will work upon what you have prayed for, and He shall make your dream accomplished. You shall not lack anything when you believe in Jesus Christ, for you shall receive what you seek when you believe and pray. Jesus said, when you believe that you have already received whatever you have prayed for in my name, then surely you shall receive. Your prayers shall be answered when you believe. So you must lead faithful and creative prayers daily, so that you will see amazing and miraculous results in your life. So keep on praying. May God bless you. Thank you.
ജെഫിന് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ അറിയിക്കുന്നു.